So as you guys know that I run my MWS gas blowback, and I'm not gonna lie, I love it. It's really good, but I don't know if you guys noticed, sometimes I think I've got it in one video before where it would gas out or something, or like it would just spew out a lot of gas. It's because of my nozzle. Now my nozzle is absolutely battered, and I thought I need to get a new one done. Like, I'll show you guys in a second. It was absolutely bad. So I've bought a Angrygun enhanced dropping nozzle. So this is actually the complete system. It's Gen 2 apparently. It also has a kind of like a MPass inside, so you can obviously adjust the FPS however you want it. So if you want a high FPS or a low FPS, or if you're shooting a little bit too hot, you can obviously lower it down. It's a really good system to have in gas blowbacks. I already have one in here, but I really want to see how this one performs and see if you can like hold up. So yeah, so let's open this. So yeah, it feels a bit cheap, I'm not gonna lie, but it is plastic. Yeah, it does feel a little bit cheap. It's kind of like, it's not like the original one. It really isn't, but if it works, it works. You also get a little Allen key with it. Put that to the side. And yeah, so obviously what you're gonna need to do now, take the old one out and just drop this one in. There's everything inside's already done for you. So like, it's already like your nozzles in there. Like you got this thing. Basically everything's already done. You just drop it in and you're ready to go. So how to get your old one out is you pop this pin out on the back, break it apart, pull your bolt out, and then, oops, let me not do that. Just put your MWS to the side. This is all you need. So basically, that's what I'm taking out. This one's all right. I don't know if you guys can see, but if you look at my, so this little thing at the bottom here is, hold on, I'm facing a little bit. Yeah, there we go. This thing at the bottom here is actually what picks the bullet up out of your mag. So what will happen is, if I grab a mag, it will sit there and then it will catch a bullet, and then you see it's push that bullet forward. But so on, I just got a notification on this, it's kind of bent. I'm not too sure if you guys can see it, but yeah, on my one it's kind of bent and it's worn down a little. If I compare it with this one, I don't know if you guys can see that again. They're completely different. This one's more flat and straight. This one's a little bit bent and it's like really messed up at the end. So obviously that's where you get the little bit of a play where the bullet goes, because if it doesn't sit right and hit that bullet properly to put it in the barrel, you could get a jam. Now there's a lot of grease on there. So what I'm gonna do is actually wipe the old grease off. Now, just because the grease is black like that doesn't mean it's dirty. The grease actually comes like that. So I like to use toilet paper or tissue, because you can really see how much you're wiping off. So that's all you need, just a little wipe off like that, and then yeah, you're good to go. So obviously to install this, all you need is a normal screwdriver, and you need a flathead screwdriver. I'll tell you what, you really need kind of like a thin one, or should I say a smaller one like that. I'll show you what that's for in a second. So what you're gonna have to do is, let me see if I'm recording, is there's two bolts at the top here. You wanna unscrew them. Oh, there's two bolts, and there's a little spring inside here. so you guys can see there's a little spring inside. What you're gonna want to do is get your flathead now, and you want to hold this down. Now you gotta really be like careful because you can break this plastic part at the top. You want to hold this down and push back. Okay. Push back and like kind of like pry it upwards. Now, like that. So you see how it's popped out. Now you can do it that way. There is another way to do it, but I would not recommend anyone doing it that way. Is once you unscrew those bolts, this thing can move, and you can pull this forward and push it outwards like that, and then lift it up, and then that would obviously lift up the spring, but I wouldn't do it that way. I've seen a friend do it that way before and he got it out, but it looks too dangerous. So once you get those 2-3 things out, what you want to do now is pull this bolt forward. Now this bolt won't pull out because it's actually being held at the back here, so it would not pull out. And then what you want to do is pull it forward and lift this up and push forward as well, just like that. So I'll do that one more time for you. It is a little bit tricky to get back in. You do not want to break this. You do not want to break it at all because you're going to not fire at all. So once you get to this stage, what you want to do is pull the nozzle forward and then kind of like hold it while it's forward like that. Grab the top, pull it up. So you see I've pulled it up and push forward, and it should come out. Now this only keeps the nozzle straight. So you see how it's out, and now the nozzle can move freely. That's what that's for. And then what you want to do now is there is a little thing at the back here, just like that. Most people I've seen, they can't just lift it up like that, how I can. I don't know why, but with me, I can just lift it up with my finger. If you can't, grab your flathead again and just kind of like pry it up with these 2 little bumps at the back. So there. There's 2 little bumps at the back. You want to just obviously get a like good grip on the back and pull up. Again, you do not want to lose or break any of these parts. So once that's out, your entire bolt can just be pulled out. Now we can see the comparisons between them. Now this bolt does feel a lot more, how can I say, I wouldn't say expensive, but yeah, expensive. But this costs way more than this, obviously excluding the impasse that I have inside. But yeah, it just feels like like better plastic. It doesn't feel like it can break easily. But if this works just as good, if this works just as good or better, then yeah. So you don't really need that. You can throw that away if it's broke or no. Or yeah, put that to the side. I do have my impasse in there. I need to remember to take that out and not just throw that away. So now you have this bit. You can just put this back, but I am going to put, I don't even have it with me, a little bit of silicone oil on this rubber bit here. I will grab that now. What you want to do is grab your silicone oil and just give it a few sprays, because remember, it is dry. There's nothing really, you know what I mean, it's brand new. You want to just oil it up a little. Okay. Now I'm not a professional, so if I'm doing something wrong, please let me know. Yeah, but I think that's exactly how you should do it. Yeah, put a little silicone oil on the bottom there, and already in here there should be a O-ring that should be already like greased up and stuff. So what you want to do then is just drop this in and get that kind of like this thing here. Did I pull that out? Oh, it looks like there's already an O-ring on that. Okay, good job, I took it out. So it looks like there's already an O-ring on this. So let me get some silicone oil on that as well. I've got to pull it out because there's already one in here. So what I'm going to want to do is kind of get that out. So there's an O-ring in the bottom of here. If you guys ever worked on your MWS before, you know there's an O-ring in the bottom of here. There we go. There we go. So that's the O-ring that was in the bottom of it. I'll keep that to the side. I'll put it with this one. Yeah, I'll put it with that one, so I don't lose it. So now you want to do is obviously, like I said, just drop this in. Make sure that it's all the way to the bottom, just like that. And then yeah, you just want to repeat the obviously do the process backwards what you just did. But what I found out with certain ones is the kind of thing at the shit. What I found out is that this thing never gets pushed all the way in. It sometimes gets stuck just like that. It's not all the way through. So what I'll do then is I'll grab like a small Allen key. If I can find a small one, yeah, small Allen key. And there's a hole in the back of it. I will just try to put the Allen key through the hole and then pull it out. Because I'm trying to show that on camera. Once you pull it out, it reveals where you need to put this thing back in. So what you want to do is pull back out and then try to slot this into those grooves. So I'll show you on this one here. So this thing sits in this groove here. So tricky to do. So it does sit in the groove just like that. Don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it does sit in a groove like that, but obviously on the boat. So yeah, put it to the side. Should set back and put out. And try to there we go. Okay, I got it in now. Okay, yeah, I've got it in. I've noticed I had to use obviously another tool to push the bottom bit in so I can get it to fall down. And what I've noticed now, you remember when I was talking about most people can lift it up and most people can't? I can't lift that up with my finger no more. That is actually stuck in there, so hopefully that's a good thing. So yeah, once you get that bit back in, like I said, you're just repeating the process. Now that is a snap back. That's really how you want your boat to snap back. That is really powerful. That's what I'm taking out. This one. So hopefully it does improve the accuracy of the gun. I'm not too sure, but yeah. But yeah, that is really powerful. But okay, so what you want to do now is obviously, like I said before at the start of the video, you want to pull this forward, drop this just behind it, and it should just slide back in like that. So once it's obviously back in, I tend to put the screws back in first before actually putting this little spring back in, just because if you try to put this, there's so much tension in the spring. If you try to put the spring back in first, this tends to lift up and it's just a ball ache. So I like to put the screws back in first and then put that back in. But these screws are there for it not to lift out, not to move back and forth, because this does need to move back and forth just like that. If you guys can see, it does move back and forth. The screws are there for it not to lift out. So now you put this little spring back in. You just want to slide it in like that and then push down, get it in there. Switch back to your flathead screwdriver grabbing one, and then yeah, just like that. Now if you notice, the back and forth is there's a lot more tension on that, a lot more tension. And yeah, that's it. That's really like pretty much it. It's just pretty simple, just like that. So what I like to do now, because obviously I wiped all the grease off, is obviously get a little bit more grease, not a lot. You do not want to over grease this, just the slightest amount of grease. And I like to put it on the outside of the nozzle like this, the bolt, sorry, just because this bolt is going to be moving back and forth a lot. So you do not want to obviously under grease it, and then you don't want to obviously over grease it. Just a light coat over the top to do. What you want to do is grab your MWS back and get obviously the charging handle, put them both like that. Then what you want to do is, this is on camera, just want to slide the bolt back in, just like that. That was my tracer that I just activated. Push this down, lock it off, and then it's back working. So at the moment I do not have my Corona with me, so I can't really test the MPass, but I just wanted to show you guys how to obviously switch the nozzle out. And this mag does have a little bit of gas in there, but there's no actual BBs in there, so I just want to see if it charges and if it shoots. Yep, so it does charge. This mag is a little bit faulty, it doesn't lock back in the last bullet, but sometimes it does, but it doesn't. And yeah, it shoots. And yeah, it's really snappy. Hopefully this does improve the accuracy on it. Maybe not, but you know, you never know with gas blowback guns. But if you guys like the video, like and subscribe. And if you didn't understand anything I just said, just, you know, drop it in the comments below, and I'll try to help you as best as I can.